All right. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. Welcome back to another episode of RareFUD Radio. On today's episode, we got our good friend Manny jumping in the building with us. It has been long overdue. Manny is a good friend of ours, as well as a good friend of the show. I mean, he comes in here all the time, talks a little bit in chat, and he is one of the most insightful traders. I think he just has a really good finger to the pulse of the market. I love talking to him about it, not just about Solana, but just market in general. So he's coming on to share a little insight, mainly onto BRC20 tokens and ordinals, but also, of course, he's a trader just like all of us. We're going to be talking to market. We're going to be talking about crypto, NFTs, any chain, what it looks like, and all that good stuff. So exciting show today. It'll be nice, man. It's going to be much better than Thursday. Holy cow. I still am tired of shitcoin season. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but I do think there's some validity to some of these coins versus others. We're going to get into that as well today. But join with me, as always, my wonderful friend, my co-host, my brother in content, Dorian. Dorian, how you doing today, man?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Every day's a holiday, and our boy Manny's all the day, man. I'm getting happy. Markets, the NFT market feels like it's trading downward, but I mean, that's as expected. We've been going up only for like 2 months now, surprisingly, maybe a little bit more. So overall, man, I'm feeling good, man. Happy to be here for another episode of Rare FUD. Actually, I feel a lot better than this episode than last episode. Man, we were fudding everything last episode. It was just nasty.
Yeah. It was not fun. I think it was just like we didn't perform as we wanted it to. I think they're doing fine now. I think there is a little bit of life to it, a little bit of legitimacy. I think it's just going to be a little delayed compared to what we were expecting, where we've seen it on Near, Aptos, all that.
Can't
We'll
go.
get into it in a little bit, but I do think there's some legitimacy there. But join with us today, our other co-host. Well, he was here for a second. Guess he's not. Classic Joe. Oh my gosh.
Of course, man. Can't be an episode without it.
This man
Keeping
is
us
a
on our
wild
toes.
card. Yeah, as always. Okay, whatever. Let's go ahead, get into the routine. Jump over to TXO, that is TIEXO.com. Go over to the analytics tab. And then we check out what we got today. A little bit better than some of the other days. Is 71,000 Solana volume. Not great, but it isn't terrible right now. Looking down the list, it is 32,000 Solana volume over to Magic Eden, or 45% of market share. So they've taken the throne back for now. Tensor at 38% market share, 27,000 Solana. Hades Swap back in its 10 to 15K range. You love to see it, representing about 14.5% of market share. Then Elixir sitting at 619, and yada yada yada. You know, rest is history. Not bad. I'm seeing a little bit of life in some projects, but I think, you know, like I don't want to say we found a bottom yet, and I don't even think we've come close to uptrending. You know what I mean? So I haven't had a whole lot of interest in buying NFTs. I think there's some over on Solana that, you know, obviously Heist. I'm just at Heist Maxi. I'm on the team, not financial advice. Do your research, but I do think
Cyber Samurai. We got a lot of things coming here pretty soon. So
I would be sweeping Sush. I would be getting some Cyber Samurai. There is a lot cooking, and I've had the pleasure of seeing some of it already. So, and I am very excited for it. I do think that we're going to go into kind of a lull. You know, we've been seeing it. It's just like these mini cycles back and forth. We're hot, we're cold, we're hot, we're cold. And I think we're going to go into this kind of extended lull where, you know, it's shitcoin season. SWE is launched. I do think there's going to be attention elsewhere besides the Solana blockchain. So what am I doing? One, you know, if you haven't got liquid already, I don't think this is really the time to do so. Like, nope. You should have been taking your profits earlier. I don't know if this is the time to do so. I am liquid. I'm looking to stay liquid. I'm looking to learn a little bit more about ecosystems, not just Solana, but BRC20 tokens especially. I think ordinals in general are just, for me, way more interesting than cooking, but that's a different story. And then I'm also looking to buy NFTs that have utility. Obviously, I already talked about Heist, but I think Step In is one that could literally, I mean, like, what's the harm right now? It's like, is Step In?
It's a low downside, dog. It's at the all-time bottom.
Yeah, I know Joe's already found his ROI on it, and he basically just walks. He does his little walks, and he makes money doing it and stays healthy. I mean, like, it's a no-brainer. Even if it's $5 a day or $2 a day or whatever it looks like, why not? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And then I do think there's a couple of other ones. Photo Finish, man, we just got off of Kentucky Derby. I was super impressed with Ian. I've always been impressed with Ian. I think third time, and their background in EA Sports and DraftKings and just a multitude of sports. They literally came up with the hit stick, which is like the best feature in any Madden game of all time. Are making something that is already used at the Kentucky Derby. They had a booth, they had everything. This should literally be a blue chip. Like, to me, this should be a blue chip. So a Photo Finish, I think, is another one. And Step It. Just something to get us through the lull with these NFTs. I think those are the NFTs I want right now. Other than that, not touching them. I would much rather stay liquid. And you can do so by trading tokens if you want to, should you want to, or stay in Solana. You can go into staking. You can look into liquid staking, which is what I've been doing lately. Super bullish on liquid staking. I think that's something we can talk about in another episode. But Dor, what do you think about the market? What are you looking at right now?
Yeah, man. Right now, I was saying like 2-3 weeks ago, consistently, I'm aggressively taking profit. Just because the market was so hot for so long. I'm like, man, I know it's going to go back down. And when it does, I'm trying to like have a bag to be liquid enough to pick up some of these projects that I've looked at. Bastards is one of them that I picked up recently. I've been having a lot of talks with one of the team members over there. Can't talk about too much, but it makes me bullish on what's coming next for a lot of things. So I definitely had to pick up some Bastards. I'm keeping my eye out on Blocksmith. I think that's just a no-brainer with Migos coming up. So I'm looking to pick that up. I've been what else have I been looking at? Heist, man. Like, and that's another thing. In an extended a bearish market, people are still playing Heist, man. More sinks are still coming out. I'm bullish as ever on Heist. Nothing's fundamentally changed with that project. And of course, my boy's B's on it. So it's like, why not? It's like, and I'm having a blast with it. Just sitting here stacking Nana. Don't care about the price. My entire goal is to stack Nana. And I kind of hate the team because when they come out with sinks and I'm like, oh man, I just entered like 50,000 Nana into this raffle. I'm like, crap, dude. But if I can get another chip, I'll make it back. So
Yeah.
looking at there. So go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Yep. And then I've been doing a lot of ordinals trading. I have a Red Eyes OMB I picked up a while ago. Currently have it listed. We'll see if it sells in that. I did just mint my Blue Eyes OMB, which is on an old SAT block 78. It was one of the first blocks minted by someone other than Satoshi. So I think that'll have major historical significance in the next bull run. So I plan on holding that for the extreme. Dog, I'm not getting rid of that. That's like holding a piece of history, not getting rid of that. I ride that one to zero, dog. But
That's such
yeah,
a
man.
nerdy piece of history, bro.
overall, I
We are
mean,
such
just
nerds
looking at
sometimes.
dude. But that's the thing, man. It's like these niche, high-value collectors like that niche type of stuff, dog. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, block 78. Dude, I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, 100%. No, I love it. I'm just saying we're such nerds sometimes. But
yeah.
Speaking of blocks,
Exactly,
man. Speaking of blocks, let's get our boy Manny up here. Good friend of the show, wonderful guy. Absolutely cooking with BRC20 tokens lately, and it's just been so low key about it. But let's go ahead and bring him on, Manny. What's going on, brother?
Man, hey.
Let me scoop this back. What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Oh, doing fantastic.
Good, man. Happy to have you on.
Dude, thanks for having me on. Yeah, dude, this BRC20 thing has been nuts. Like, I've been an absolute demon. Like, nonstop. Like, I am looking at stuff. I'm looking at, like, how long it'll take for these blocks to finish. And it moves so slow that you're not, like, staring at a chart or doing anything like that crazy. But I'm just like, living in Discord, following the right people, seeing who's talking about kind of all of the like BRC20 things, and like that's just really it. It's just trying to figure out the network of people that I need to find to build this thing out. But is my audio still a little choppy? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's a little choppy, man.
Audio is super choppy, but that's okay. Yeah. We'll let you reconnect real quick. In the meantime, just to give you guys a little background on who Manny is. One member of Cyber Samurai. He joined the dojo probably around the same time I did, or a little after. Yeah, I mean, like it's been, bro. I didn't even realize the other day. It was wild, dude. Like I've been staked in Path Protocol for 317 days, which is like I cannot believe a year has almost already gone by. But dude, super excited. Yeah, Manny joined right around the same time I did. Like it was not long after that Manny joined, so he's been around for like I would say 8 months minimum, I think, at this point. He had been a part of the dojo, jumped on VCs. He's just been cooking. And he also, I mean, he's been on there with Tayo's VC, you know, was a major Tayo holder, still one of the leaders over at Tayo Pilots. I mean, like very involved in the ecosystem, but it doesn't just stop there. And I think that's one of the reasons we love Manny so much is he's always looking for opportunities, and he has absolutely found a gold mine with BRC20 tokens lately. So Manny, real quick, tell us a little bit about your transition into Ordinals and BRC20 tokens and everything in between.
Dude, let me just do a quick microphone check. Is that bad? Good? Where are we at? Is it still pretty choppy?
You're good.
No, you're good. Nice. Dude, so ZK Shark, dude, when that guy says jump, I say how high, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never met him. I just know him as like the suit D god on the internet who may or may not have traded oil at some point in time. And like, he's an absolute Chad, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, he is.
You don't ask where you sit on a rocket ship. You just get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like, oh, well, maybe I should sit here. So once he started talking about it, I was like, oh, okay, I need to dive deeper into this. So then I was trading those ordinal punks early on the Ethereum contract, getting those verified on the BitPunks thing, doing a little bit of stuff like that. And then just kind of going back and forth, trying to see if that would kind of work. I made an Ethereum, like a full ETH on that, and that was pretty chill. It was pretty solid. And then after that, I kind of took a break. And then they started talking about these BRC20s. And then after that, I was like, wait, this could be a thing. And then I did a deep dive. I bought Ordi at 25 cents and I only got 1,000 because I was like, well, I don't have that much like cash or whatever because I'm like doing stuff on Sol, doing all this stuff. And like, dude, if I would have dropped 2 racks, that would have been $250,000 today. If I would have spent $2,000 and not papered it on the way up,
crazy,
I would have had $250,000. And like,
but also Manny, like just to give pause real quick, like we come from Solana and sometimes it's so hard to break from that mentality because we're like, oh, we can't have anything nice here, so you always take the profit on the way up, and like, you know, you always exercise, you take profit points. In Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's so much friction between transactions where it's like a lot of people just diamond hand more over there, right? And so I think that's your first foray into that, right?
Yeah, so it was a lesson that I learned that I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll hold this, or maybe I'll always keep like 10 or 20% of everything that I'm in and just hold it no matter what, right? Like make back all of my money on just kind of everything to recoup the initial and then ride the rest of it for free is kind of where I'm at.
But it's like, it's always easy and tend to beat yourself up hindsight on these things, dog. Nobody knows what these things are going to do. So like,
dude,
while we sit here, go ahead, dog.
Oh, I was going to say I had no idea, but I learned early.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
I learned very early.
So I think it's important to just like, you know, adapt to it, but like, don't beat yourself. Like, yeah, I could have had $250,000, but at the same time, it's like, yo, I could have had fucking $250,000 too if I brought Bored Apes hindsight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you're consistently making those 10Xs, you'll get there in no time, and you will. So if you're not already there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. We're definitely getting there. But yeah, man, I think the biggest thing is like, they sent me a thread super early and they told me to use this thing called Unisat, which is like the ordinal marketplace that I kind of trust for the most part, where most of the action happens. And then you make a Unisat wallet, you send Bitcoin to it, and then you wait. And then you have to get 20 points to unlock the platform to use it. So once you do that, like I can walk you guys through it. If I don't know if a visual would help.
For the listeners, let's take it step by step, because I know there's a lot of people that are very interested in trading coins of some sort. Like I do think Ordi is up there. The chain. We can talk about your picks in a little bit, but yeah, walk us through. Okay, Unisat wallet. Is that a plugin? Where can they download it? And then let's talk about those points in order to unlock Unisat.
Yeah. So how do I share my screen?
If you hit that little share screen button in the middle of your below the panel.
There it is.
Yeah, hit that, and then I can bring you on.
All right, cool. Yeah, here we go.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Can you guys see that?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, cool. So here, this is their website, just unisat.io. And then you go here, you make a wallet, and then you can see all of the stuff that people are like minting as far as ordinals, right? But what you have to do is you have to get 20 points to unlock the platform, right? So once you make a wallet, you'll connect. And then once you, hang on, give me 1 second. All right, well, it won't let me connect, but right here, once you connect.
wait, we got to talk about that. This is classic. Hey, this is a barrier to entry. This is bullish to me.
Yep.
This is that friction that you need, dude. There we go.
Exactly, dog. Yep.
I mean, but I've been thinking about it so much lately as far as, you know, why Sol should be like a perfect place to trade shit coins. I think it's just a perfect place to grab a couple of 2Xs, 5Xs, whatever, and then just like GTFO. You know, you don't want to be there anymore because I just don't trust the people in Solana. And I think that's a byproduct of it being frictionless, and then it also having, you know, low liquidity in terms of underlying token value. You know, like Sol's $20 right now, and Bitcoin is now what, 28,000, something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like for me, I was like, dude, this is like 500 billion market cap, right? Like even if we capture like 0.1% of it, it's going to be more than anything else as far as like liquidity, right? So that was like my whole thesis is like, dude, these people have way bigger bags. So pretty much what you do is you just go to BRC20 right? And then here are all the things that you kind of have there. But really what you want to do is you go here to BRC20, and you have to get 20 points before you can unlock the marketplace, right? So you can either mint a BRC20 right here where you go in progress, and then you see kind of what's minting. And then you just like, I would look at something like this. It's 63% in progress. So I'm like, okay, then I can look at the holders, right? I can see if these people are quote unquote smart money or not. And if they have Ordi, Pepe, or Meme, or any of these like high value tokens in size, like this guy has Nulls, which is like the second highest market cap or third highest market cap. And he's got like 89 of them, right? So I can go and see how much money this dude has by just doing this. Nulls. I'll see how much it's trading per coin. So yeah, 66. He's got like 70 G's right there, right? So I would consider him like semi-smart money on this thing. So I would just go here. I'd go in progress, go back to this. I always sort by holders just because I like that's what I'm bullish on is more people having this thing, because then that'll drive demand either on the sell side or on the buy side. And then you just go mint directly, and then you have to mint 20. You can break it up however you want, right? But this is the thing that the problem you run into is like, are you doing this to just like get access to the platform, or are you minting this because you want to get it, right? So you can do this like super low gas just to get the 20 points to unlock the platform. But to mint 20 of these right now, that costs $300, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have 20,000 of these tokens.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And, okay. So 20,000 of those tokens cost about what, $300 is what you said?
Yeah. So
Okay.
So
I actually do
go
want
ahead.
to buy these. So wait, hang on.
Are you gonna
Go
buy
ahead.
that? Because honestly, that sounds those numbers look good. Can you explain real quick while we're here too? Do you see that top bar where it shows like different colors? Is there any significance to that, and what is that?
Yeah. So this means that they've already been confirmed, right? So like this means that like the green bar is these will be confirmed before the day ends. The blue bar means that they'll be confirmed between 1 to 24 hours, right? Like this is the amount that is going to be confirmed in an hour, and then this is the amount that's already been confirmed. So it
Makes
looks
sense.
like in the next hour, 3 million of the 21 million supply will be confirmed, right? So I'm probably going to fast gas this just in case, just so I know I have them. Because if you get to the mempool where all of these things kind of sit and somebody front runs you because they paid more, you'll still mint the ordinal, but it won't have any value because it's exceeded the 21 million amount.
Okay.
Does
Makes
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes total sense.
So on this, I do want to mint. I'll mint 10, not like go to degen on the 20, but
Bro, it's been so long since I've used Bitcoin. I'm just like
Dude.
having this like flashback of what Bitcoin, like I used to use the Electron wallet and Exodus, and just like the absolute nightmare it was to go through and mint anything or like switch it over to ETH, and like all the confirmations you have to get through. I mean, it's great. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does it better than anybody else. But God bless. Solana has me spoiled.
Dude,
It does, man.
It's like a dinosaur network for sure.
Yeah.
But like now I have like 10,000 of these tokens. Like I'll show you one that I minted yesterday. Go to marketplace, go to ohms. So I minted this thing called ohms yesterday for like $100. And now like how many did I get? I think I got 5,000 for like $100. So it's still at like not a break even yet, but I mean somebody could just clear this order book pretty quick, and you can see the previous sales that have happened, right? So then you go here to orders, and then you see sold at 2 cents. So it looks like it's selling around 2 cents, but that's like the Ordi marketplace and how to mint. And like you can deploy your own contract too if you wanted to on here. You could go to inscribe BRC20, and then if you wanted to do RareFUD, and then you go to deploy, and then you just go RFUD, and then 21 million token supply, and then you hit next.
Can each one of the tokens have Dorian's picture as the token?
I don't know if you can do that. If you can,
That'd be funny.
versed in that. But yeah, this is like me deploying the RareFUD contract. And what's crazy about this is if you're the person who deploys the contract, you get 0.2% on anything that ever happens at any point in time in the contract.
That's crazy, yo. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. So like the dude who minted Ordi, like made it, he's getting like, what is that? How much was their daily volume? Let's see. Ordi's daily volume for 24 hours was $200 million. So he got
Oh, dude is cooking.
That's $400,000, right?
a day.
Dude.
that he
Yo.
made. Yeah.
All right, boys.
Look,
back it up.
RFUD, send it.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go ahead and admit. Okay, so now here's the real question, Manny. Because one, I appreciate the walkthrough for a lot of like. If you are not in BRC20 tokens, I do think this is something that is it goes past shitcoins, but kind of explain to people what's the significance of these. Why should anybody care about BRC20 tokens except token price go up?
To me, that's it. I have no idea. I don't care. I don't know. Allegedly, this stuff lives forever. I have no fucking clue. Like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I just know that I can print money and I can sell it to somebody else for more. And that's about as far as I've gotten.
That's
you love
totally
to see
fine.
it. That's fine.
I love it though, because guess
I love
what?
it.
You know what? This is how Solana folks should be learning how to make money right now, because you get to take that back to Solana and then actually take profit. You're just taking liquidity from Bitcoin and moving it back to Solana. You guys are doing the Lord's work over here, you know, blessed be Totally, and just taking liquidity from Bitcoin and bringing it back to Solana. So look, I love it. If you're going to do greater fool theory anywhere, do it on Ordinals.
This is a place to do it.
Yeah, man. And like, that's the biggest thing, right? So like, you look at the market cap, you look at the volume, you deploy a token, you don't even have to like, you don't say anything, right? Like, you just say like, it's a token, has no utility, there's no roadmap. And then people get so speculative about these things, dude, that they just run. Like, things just run out of nowhere. Like, if you look at like the top 15 market cap things, like Musk, like this Elon Musk knockoff derivative token is almost at $3. Like, there's a token that ran yesterday called Bank, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if anyone's actually building anything on it, but it ran to like 4 cents and it topped out around 30, right?
Dude,
and like,
wild.
That's insane, dog.
And people are buying it. Like, these are all of the trades that happen every hour. So like, once you get into like this upper echelon right here, and if it gets listed on a DEX, then it just moves, right? So, I mean, that's kind of what I've been up to, is just this.
Bro, what am I doing here? I mean,
Yo,
just
I know. Like, I feel like I'm wasting time on RareFUD. Shut down the show.
Yeah. Wait, seriously, that's it, and that's it. That's it on a nutshell. Okay, so talk to me a little bit, Manny, about your favorite. Do you have any tools that you find give you an edge in this market? Do you have any site or portfolio tracker or anything like that?
So this is it right here. This page on knowing how to use it, right? So you look at, there's 838 holders, right? Like, okay, it's 64% minted, so you can maybe get away with doing the normal gas just in case. But once it's over 70 or 80, like, you have to turn those sats up so high so you don't get kicked out of the pool. And like, it's almost like you're chasing a bus, and like, you hit the NOS so hard that you like push somebody out of the way to front run them onto the bus, is like the easiest way to think about it.
That's it. 1 minute. That's the easiest way to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. God, yeah. Manny, I love you so much.
Dude, yeah. And you just look at the holders, right? And like, so this guy has, I showed you guys this guy earlier, right? And this is the token we're looking at. What you have to see is make sure he didn't receive this token. because somebody can just mint it and send it to somebody who's quote unquote a whale, right? But if they inscribe it, that tells me that they're pretty fucking smart and they know something that I don't know, right? So then that's why I will just buy this for that reason. But I do this with like Ordi, like the Ordi whales or whatever. Like these are like the true smart insider people who've been here since like March 9th or whatever when this thing started. I look at like, well, what else has this guy inscribed, right? Like he inscribed 100 billion of this thing. I don't know what this is, right? Like, did he actually inscribe it? No, he received it, right? So this is where we see that like somebody just airdropped this to this guy, right? But you can look at like XNFT, he minted that. So I would probably be looking to either scoop some of that on the search. We'll go XNFT and then see if it's like fully minted out or not, right? So it's 100% minted out now, but there could be something there to maybe buy on secondary. So then you just go here, XNFT, like this. And then you look, like there's a whole lot of transactions that have happened so far. And you can get like 100,000 tokens on 100 million supply for $147 plus fees. So it's like $200, right? And like, that's kind of it. And like some of the other stuff is like this, like I'll go Twitter. And then there's one guy I follow who's like an absolute lord when it comes to this stuff. Is this guy right here, Big God.
Yo, speaking of Big God's, here's some alpha for you guys. Big God's coming out with a coin and he's airdropping OMB holders some of that shit, dog.
Yeah. So in 24 hours to from now, or 48 hours, this will be launched and they'll tell you what it is. The ticker's not deployed yet, but the second it is, I'm going on to Unisat. I'm putting in that 4-letter ticker on the inscribe thing right here, like whatever it is, if it's like BGOT or whatever it is, and I am max minting that thing. Like I would just go find the contract in the search function right here. Like if it was meme, right? I would look at it, then I would say, okay, the supply is 100,000. I can limit 1 per, and then the decimals or whatever. So then I would go to inscribe, and then I would mint the max amount of it.
That's insane. Dude, like Frank was, and that's some alpha right there. And I'm glad you talked about it, man, because the reason I know about BitGuy, because I haven't been dabbling in BRC20 tokens much, and that's why I'm glad I have you on, because I just didn't know much about the landscape and stuff and how it works. But now that I know, I'm probably going to transfer more liquidity over. So whenever that, because BitGuy is supposed to be doing an airdrop for OMB holders and other communities out there. He even Frank, I think Frank D-Gods might be getting some. But yeah, man, I think that thing's gonna absolutely send whenever it comes out.
Why I'm gonna like make sure I have enough lick to buy in size and then just sit on it. Like like whatever my inscription cost is, I'm gonna sell that much and then just diamond hand the rest.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't need to sell it. Like I already recouped my investment and I get to ride it for free.
Yeah.
And then if it gets listed on a DEX, then I would rather sell it there once I transfer it on there, because then I can sell it in 1 wick. Right? Like it'll be way easier to offload than like the 0.1 bricks that I have to break this thing off in. Right? So I was like, they called it corner boying or whatever, because I bought 1,000 Ordi and I just broke it off into 100-round lots and I just listed it at 5 times the price. But because it was like $400 instead of $2,000, people would rather just buy a little bit of that to like dip their toe in. And like, that's what I was doing, is like, I would just get these big coins, I'd buy in bulk, and then I'd break it up and then sell at like 1.5, 1.2, 1.8, and then like 2x, and then 3x, and then like a 5x. And then that way it's already set up and I don't have to do anything. And then I just wake up, I look at my balance, I'm like, oh shit, all this stuff sold, cool. And then that's it.
So I love the fact that they're calling it corner boying, like you're just on the corner selling, peddling your shit coins. So
yeah,
I love that. First off, all right. Second, I mean, how much legs do you think this has, Manny? How long do you think this lasts? Because I have some thoughts on it, but obviously you've been in the market longer than I have.
Dude, I think Ordi goes to 1,000.
Ordi
Dang.
goes to 1,000.
And I'll tell you why. Hang on, let me pull this up. What's this dude's name? Something with it. Hang on. He is one of these people. Give me
How-
1 second.
How many tokens of Ordi are there?
21 million. That's
Okay.
it. It's all fixed, fair launch, drop. So when it drops, everybody has a fair like shot at trying to get these tokens. So it's one of those things that like, and if you're active on the Unisat platform, like look at this, dude. Look, like there's one person who has one token who is able to mint, who sniffed it out before it happened. And then you go, and you go here. And this is the Unisat alleged airdrop token that they have, right? Like, look at how many tokens these people have. And they said that they might do an airdrop if you're active on the platform, right?
Beautiful.
So, like, this could be free money as long as you get as many of these, like, points that you can get, right? And, like, they also have an OG pass or whatever, but that's, like, 0.3 Bitcoin. And you might get more of these, like, made-up tokens or whatever for it, but
I mean, we're calling a spade here. You're
Yeah, I
saying,
mean
like,
that's exactly what it is.
made up token. I'm so perplexed because obviously people want a piece of history, right? I mean, Ordi's the first BRC20 token. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that alone for me is worth at least, a couple stacks or something like that, just so I can say I have a piece of that. And I don't even care if it's at a premium right now, because why not? But I look at the rest of them and I say, okay, what can these become? I don't know. I just a piece of the blockchain, I guess. That's it. But look, I'm not going to be caught holding the bag. And
Nah, definitely not, dog.
okay,
this is it. This is what I wanted to show you guys. BRC market cap, ERC20 market cap.
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing is, with ERC20 tokens,
versus
like
that.
what's the use of them, right? I mean, it's nothing. There is no
Absolutely
use
nothing.
for ERC20 tokens. They have the premise of a smart contract, but who uses them? Who cares about gas? If you're doing anything with Ethereum, like NFTs have more promise. I guess like Uniswap and all the swapping mechanisms over there.
But the thing is, don't nobody care, man. Pepe pumped what? Freaking 1,000x or something stupid? Nobody cares about utility, dog. It's all about narrative, man. So I'm right there with Manny. It's like all these tokens keep coming out, and if liquidity's there for it, people are going to ape, man.
100%, dude. And that's it. Like, I just look at these two numbers, and you're telling me that this has 159 Billy with a B. I'm like, dude, this thing isn't even at like 150th of that. Like, you're looking at something where people made like monstrous generational wealth, and you're telling me that they don't want to trade shit coins?
Yes. Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. I think right now the issue with Ordinals and like a lot of these BRC20 tokens, and which is great why you're getting in so early, is that there's a massive lack of infrastructure. And it's like people going through what you did and showed us, a lot of people, even if they're watching the show, won't do, man. So I'm going to start diving into it more. I'm going to learn how to figure it out. But I think we'll see that large liquidity inflow once it's a lot more accessible to people, where people can simply go on a DEX or see a chart and then just automatically pick it up from that point. But right now, we're super early, and even though there is a marketplace, it's not easy to understand. It takes a lot of, looking through different wallets. It's a lot of barriers that most people, even if you're involved now, don't want to go through. So I think that's super bullish, man. As you said, it's just like that huge market cap. Let's say BRC never reaches a fucking half of that. It doesn't need to still pump your coins, dog.
It doesn't need to at all.
Minimum downside, maximum upside. And that's what we talk about all the time on RareFUD, just risk assessment. Does this have a higher chance of going up? And am I worth risking $500 to bet on that? Hell yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, dude, Ordi's at $20, right? What's $20? Like a Chipotle bowl? right?
Yeah,
You get
Solana.
5 of those.
Mhm.
You get
A
5
soul.
Chipotle bowls.
Yeah, it's
Right?
one
A
soul
soul.
right now.
Yeah, you get 100 soul. You dump it into that. Say it runs to like 1,000, right? Then you have $100,000, right? Like, dude,
Easy clap.
that's it. And you didn't even have to do anything. You bought it, you wait, and then it runs. And I mean, it's not financial advice, right? Like, we're trading up made up things, and like, I don't know, these are like Pokemon cards for like StarCraft nerds, right? So it's like, I don't know. You have to remember what you're getting yourself into. You're like dousing kerosene and starting to flick matches and seeing what
Dude,
lights up.
This
So-
is what I love about crypto, though. Is just like, if it rewards you if you have an edge. It rewards you if you can read the market and read sentiment and understand where the next narrative is. You're rewarded heavily in that. But at the same time, as much as you're rewarded, boy, you can get punished for messing up, man. And so, like, all the people trading crap coins over on Sol, getting wrecked, blaming influencers. Dog, nobody told you to buy these people's bags. Same here within the case of you, Manny. It's like you're talking about that, but to be fair, you were in pretty early. So am I going to jump in Ordi? It could run. I don't know, but I don't feel like I have an edge there. But seeing I'm getting an airdrop from Bitcoin or BitGod or whatever, I'm like, let me try my hand at that. Maybe a low risk, high upside. So it's just because you've already done good or are doing good doesn't mean people should copy trade you. But at the same time, try to find your way into the ecosystem and try to find your own edge and what works for you, and use some of the techniques that Manny showed you guys today, because I sure as hell am.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, I don't even hold any order right now, but I know that all the value is going to accumulate towards the top, right? Like,
Yeah.
You look at DGods, right? Like, everything just went to them, right? And like, that was always the play, is like, you should have bought a DGod, right? Like, you should have just traded all of these low mid caps and then just bought into a high cap, taken a loan on it, so then you can ride it almost risk free, where you have cap downside loss and you can risk whatever you can in the middle, right? So like, that's the thing, is like, I'm going to break off like 30% of all of my gains and then just put it into Ordi, and then 30% goes home no matter what. It doesn't matter what happens. It's like taxes, right? And then like after that, then everything else is just house money.
Nah, I feel you, dog. That sounds like a good strategy to me, dude.
I mean, so this goes back to like, okay, everybody's making a ton of money off this, right? Like, if you got into Ordi early, I mean, like, GG, congrats on early retirement. But like, we see all this money being made in Pepe and BRC20. One, like Manny said, this is not financial advice. Like, please do your own risk. Like, if you only have $1,000 to your name, like, pay rent.
Don't go
like, pay for food and water and like do all that stuff first. This is like, I think this is a BRC20 is like, you need to have probably like $1,000 at your disposal, I would say, to make it like, okay, there's a few different plays I can get into, maybe pick 3 or something like that, and just, see where it lands you. And it needs to be disposable income. But at the same time, it's like, why would I spend $1,000 on Solana NFTs right now? Like, why would I? It's so PvP. Nobody cares about them right now. And this is not saying they won't ever care about them again. It's just right now, right? Like, if I have to look at where I want to spend $1,000, it's not really on Solana NFTs. I don't see a whole lot coming to the market over the next month and a half. And I know that's so FUD because I already have my bag of heists. And I already told you there are certain exceptions to this rule where I think, like, to get you through the lull, it is the stuff that you can actually play or use or anything like that. In the meantime, while I'm trading my damn, BRC20 shitcoins, like, this is, besides that, why would I spend $1,000 on there when I could be making loads of money on a brand new ecosystem with the richest liquidity in all of crypto? It just doesn't make sense. This is such a clear-cut winner in the grand scheme of things that you want to get in, and it's all about finding the right narrative and sentiment, the people buying it, like Manny said. Manny, do you have any other, like, okay, there's BitGod. Do you see anybody else? I mean, ZK too, which, by the way, since we're talking about ZK, one of the most underrated aspects of DGods was ZK. Like, straight up, this man was such a gem for them. And I know everybody always talks about, like, Frank obviously, right? Frank is king and all that good stuff. But there were so many people behind Frank, and ZK was definitely one of them that just, like, gave so much value back to that community that everybody's like, yeah, like ZK is the man, and they've made a ton of people a ton of money. Like, and if he's calling this stuff now, why wouldn't you join in on the craze? Like, compared to, I would much rather trade this than I would ETH shitcoins right now. Certainly Solana shitcoins, but at least Solana, I know I have an edge. There's like a 3 to 5x I can possibly get, and then I just dip on out in like 24 hours.
And it's fast, and you're in and out, right? But like with this, it's like I started at $300. I got it to like a pretty decent amount of money. I took all my initial and profits, and like my rule is like I keep 0.05, and like whatever I have is what I have, and like any of the gains I make get transferred out daily to my bank account, and I keep 0.05, and then that's it, right? And like if I lose it, then I can't get any until next month or like 2 weeks or whatever. It all depends on cash flow, right? But like then I don't get any until next month, and then that's it. And that sucks for me, right? Because like there should be pain, right? If you mess everything up and you mint the wrong stuff, then like there should be consequences, right? And like you should hold yourself accountable to it.
Yeah, man. Yep.
And that's what I've been doing.
I think that's
it works. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think too many people in this space want unrisk upside, in the sense of like, oh, I can ape $10,000 in and it goes up, but then if they don't want to be punished for it, but when they get punished, then they complain and blame everybody else for themselves. It's like, look, I'm telling you, I'm not putting 10 G's into a random crap coin. I did it with Bonk, but you know, that was a different story. And if I got wrecked, I understood the consequences. I wasn't gonna sit there and be like, oh, you know, this is this person's fault or this person's. No, it was my own fault. Like nobody told me to do this. So I think people need to stop blaming other people and just accept the consequences if you get wrecked.
Yeah, and that's definitely where I'm at on this, is like, you know, this is what I'm doing for fun. It's been pretty entertaining for me. And yeah, man, it's a good time. I'm definitely trying to use all of my gains on this now to buy an OMB. So I'm like working on it. I'm getting there.
Dude,
I'm getting close. So
dude, I'm so to be fair, I have I just, for full transparency, so nobody out here accusing me of pumping my bags, I have my red eyes listed for 0.5 BTC right now. Just because I want to take that liquidity, rotate it back into Sol and other projects, and even like use that for Ordi, because I purchased mine at 0.17. I'm like, these are going to freaking send, man. It's like, so I'm trying to take profit and compound on that, but I still have my blue eyes OMB that I'm like, nah, dog, I'm riding that out to, it's either Valhalla or zero, especially on that, old SAT, the HAL block or whatever, dog. It's like, nah, no way I'm selling that, dog. So, yeah, I managed to get an OMB on the pullback after mint, and I'm like, this is going to do good. So I've been bullish on that for a while, man.
Yeah, so I think about like Binance offering this, like, dude, once the Binance liquidity pool comes in, and right now the main people who are trading this, dude, I shit you not, are all Hong Kong whales. Like, Zing was a token that absolutely sent because it was minted on a rare SAT. And it was just all of Hong Kong trading these BRC20s. And once they can fully trade, like without any, like with KYC in June, this is just going to.
Yeah, dog.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I think. Right. Yeah. I could be totally wrong. But I just think like.
I don't think you are, man, because it's like one of those things we were talking about is like all these barriers there to like prevent people from easily accessing these platforms. And I think people want to trade it. I think people are hearing about it. But then when they try to get into it, they find it difficult. So once, you know, they have KYC in place and these centralized exchanges make it a little bit easier to trade these type of tokens, it's going to send, man. At least I don't think that's the wrong bet to take.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at on it. It's like, you know what, I'll take a flyer on this because, like, dude, what am I? There isn't anything else that has my attention. Like, there's nothing on ETH. Like, Sol has like your guys' projects, but outside of that, I'm like, and maybe another project like Easy's project when it mints. Like, I'll be super into that. But outside of that, like, I don't know, there isn't really anything else going on. No. And we're in an attention economy, and like when you're doing like 5 million inscriptions, like. So much so that it can take down the Bitcoin network. every news story is going to be running free publicity, dude. There's no such thing as bad press. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just getting into the ecosystem, people understanding, and then like that'll even bring in more people, and then like they unlock the whole Asian market, and then it's just up only. So,
dude, I totally agree. I think that is absolutely going to be the case. I do think that comparison to the ERC20 token market is very interesting because I don't think there's a question if it's going to eclipse it, because again, until ERC20 tokens actually gain any sort of value, I think there's a few and far between that do. I think the historical value of some of these coins could be much bigger than the utility that you can get over on ERC, because the smart contracts you can do on Ethereum, like, dude, who cares? There's so many other platforms right now that are so much better, right? I'm like, who cares about these smart contract tokens, right? That's essentially what they are. Is they're just BRC20 tokens, except with smart contracts on them that nobody really uses, right? So I think it is just a little bit different of a contract, but other than that, I mean, BRC20 feels like a no-brainer. So it's not a question of if it'll get that big, it's when. Like, is this going to happen literally overnight? Because I could see that being a possible case. Like, literally by end of year, it eclipses the ERC20 token to market. I don't know. I don't know if it takes 5 years, right? Like, I think that's really the question I have is like, how long does it take? A question for you too, Manny, because you're up here. Talked about Ching and how it was minted on a rare set. What constitutes a rare set? What should we be looking for?
No idea. I have no idea.
What constitutes, now there's a difference between, I'm more on the technical side versus Manny. Manny's just like, I'm here to print, dog. And I respect that. So, but for me, it's like, I like to understand, the ideology behind it, the, like what makes a rare sat versus a old sat. So there's a rare sat is a sat that would be like, oh, sat number 69, 69, 69, or sat number 420, 420, or just some unique numbering phrase that would make that sat be considered rare. While an old sat, or it might have some rare significance. Oh, it's like number 400 on block 400. I don't freaking know. But while rarity is a lot more subjective to people, while when you go into the terms of older sats, which can be considered rare, but not all rare sats are old sats, if that makes any sense. So your old sats are like, oh, you got a sat from the first block that was mined, or as we said, block 78 with the HAL block, a block that was the first block that was mined from someone other than Satoshi. That would constitute an old sat, but people may perceive that old sat as being rare as well.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me. I can see how that's cool in a nerdy sense. I think
It's
I'm
like-
more with Manny in the sense that I think the money I make from it is way cooler than
It's
owning
like
a
It's like a Charizard versus a first edition Charizard, Bison.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like that's it.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's about the simple. And like, I guess I'm on the nerdy side, and I perceive that especially during a bull market, there'll be others who are just as nerdy who want things such as, oh, I want that old sat from block 78. So that's why I got OMBs. So
legendary stat. Like a legendary stat, there's only like 9 or something. Like there's this thing called the Rare Satoshi Society or something called the RSSC. And these people just hunt sats. That's all they do. And like an uncommon sat right now is like $1,500. And like you could just be scanning, looking, trying to find one and get it for $1,500. So it's one of the things that like these people do, and they're just printing money, digging for gold, like actual gold miners. Like, I don't know, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
I think I perceive crypto is not going anywhere. So these things, I think, will gain more value as time goes on. So it's just one of those things. It's like, if you get something, you just got to sit on it, man. And I think that, once again, going back to OMB, I think the blue or rare sats or old sats or whatever you want to call them will have more value than the initial Red Eyes collection long term.
I love Dorian's perception of value. I mean, like, it makes sense to me, and I think that's 100% true, and I think it's right. That's just such a long-term approach for me. Like, I'm so much. I mean, I'm medium term. Joe's the short-term trader on the show, but that's so interesting to me how long-term traders like perceive value in different spaces. And I think it makes more sense over on Bitcoin than it does Solana. Like to me, there's so few and far between.
Dog, long-term on Solana is 3 months. Like that's that's my long-term on Solana.
That's long
like,
too. That's a long hold. Manny, I guess next question for you is like, are you going full-time BRC20 tokens? Because at this point, you might as well. I mean, like,
I know, right?
You're in early. Congrats on being early.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, no, dude, shout out to ZK, dude. That was all ZK's doing. Like, we got into Ordi like sub 3 million market cap. So we were like, dude, Dingling, the ETH whale, he spent $2,500 to like $2,300. In today's dollars, the Ordi that was $300 that he minted alone is $15 million.
Jesus Christ.
My God.
$300, $15 million. That's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying?
So that I guess my other thing too is there's going to be so few and far between opportunities like that to that caliber. So like this is, I think we are getting to the point where maybe it is smart to take like that incremental approach where, like you said, just being a corner boy, you know, and just like absolutely just breaking that stuff up and parsing it into little sections. And it's really funny how you laid it out, like the psychology behind it, where it's like some people just want to dip their toes in and you're the dealer of that. Do you provide it at a premium too when you look at some of the 100%. Other? Yeah.
Like 2x, because I look at all of the blocks that are being sold and it's like 2,000, 3,000, 1,500. This like, dude, somebody who's going to try this out doesn't want to spend that much money. So I'll just list it for 3x the price, but at like $200 to $300, right?
Yeah.
So I get more juice out of the squeeze, right? Because it's like I break down 100 into like 5, but I charge $200 for it, and that person feels comfortable spending $200 and knowing they'll at least get 5, right? But then what that does is people see that it's starting to sell for more, and then the whales think that this is going to be a big thing. So then they start to front run and clear the whole order book. And then that's when it like creates even more momentum on the flywheel side.
That's super interesting. I guess that leads me to a next tactic I would probably try to implement too, is like, what if you corner boyed like 25-50% of your supply, right? You're the one who kind of starts getting the uptrend going. Maybe you get a few other people to do this too. We should do this, Manny. I mean, like, we certainly talk about we're the little corner boys sitting on each corner, you know, the 2x, 3x, 5x. We start the order book going. People are seeing like, oh man, this is trading at a premium right now. I'm going to go ahead and sweep all the big blocks. And then the rest of our allocation is like just a big chunk of block, right? Like we set it at like a 7x or something like that. That's the rest of our allocation. We get that final squeeze at like that, you know, that real, like you just sat there and you twisted the towel a little bit, then you finally get that.
Dude, the craziest part is if you mint this stuff, you're basically writing it for free because it'll automatically 10x out of the gate. If you mint it and it runs, it's 10x out of the gate. Like,
that's amazing. Okay.
Like I spent $300. I might make 3 G's on whatever Bine is or BIAN. I have no idea what it is. But like all these ordinal,
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't need to. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Like I just know somebody will pay 10x whatever I bought it for in 2 days. So
mint and print, baby. You love to see it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we're definitely Manny. This might be like our I miss daily dojo VC where we just got in there all the time. This may be like a routine thing for us. So, I'm excited.
Dog. I'm saying.
Yep, I want.
Manny, whenever we in the stream, don't jump off because I still want to talk to you. Sorry, guys, you can't get all the alpha.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are about wrapped up. We're hitting that 3 o'clock mark, and I know I got to start prepping for the Heist Town Hall. Manny, last question for you. As far as like, do you have any other interest in anything else right now, or is it just like strictly BRC20 tokens and Web 2 job?
Web 2 job, pretty focused on that. Trying to think. I'm in this token. I think it still runs. It's called BAM, BAM on ETH.
Bambi.
Yeah, it's the Bambi token. That's actually what it is. I'm in that, and I still think it'll knock off a 0. So I'm pretty into that. I'm actively trading that, and then I think that's pretty much it. I think that's, I mean, BRC20s and like ETH shitcoins, like I missed most of the Solana ones because I was like, dude, time value of money. Like I can make way more on BRC20s than I would trading it like this for a year. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this on this stuff. And then like I was spent like an entire day trying to make like 4-character Chinese proverb like tickers. So then I can mint that for Hong Kong when they all hit, right? Because then like if it's some like super common proverb that these people use, right? And like it becomes a meme in Chinese.
Dude, you're so big brain, Manny.
Runs,
I swear,
right? Like,
dog.
This Ordi guy is making like 400 grand a day, dude. If I do that for 10, that's $4 million, and then you'll never see me again.
Like peace. It's like what happened to Manny. He's on his yacht in a private island somewhere.
Can't wait to join. Manny, it's been an absolute pleasure. We will definitely be doing this again. I want to hear an update, like maybe in a month or something like that. And the nice thing is we always save like projects if we ever do projects. Usually are on Thursday. You're working on yourself, boo boo, but that's a different project. You can always come on. So if you ever want to jump on for another Tuesday show, let's get another month update, and I want to see what all we've prospered from. So anything else you want to end with before we wrap up the show?
That's it, man. Just Ord Spy for the BRC20, brc-20.io to look at the market caps, and then Unisat is the marketplace I use. And outside of that, be careful and make sure you fast gas and don't get scammed.
Fast gas. Cool. How much on average, like if you're minting something, what does that add to your cost basis?
$40 to $60.
That's not bad.
Fine.
It depends. That's it depends, right? It depends on the percentage, right? Like if you're super early and you see a bunch of really smart money minting early, like you know that the market will delay it by a little bit. So then you can just do the economy thing and then it'll be done within like 6 to 10 hours, right? And then you don't have to worry about it if you're that early, right? But it's like I'm paranoid. Like I lost like probably 50,000 of that Zing token, which was like, I think it's like 30 cents right now or something. Let me double check. I got kicked out of the bus, dude. Somebody fast gassed me out of it. And
on BN?
Yeah, it's 25 cents. So 50 on 25 is like $12,500 or something. Because I didn't want to pay $60, but I also didn't know that I needed to do that, right? Because like, dude, you just watched an hour of me not knowing anything. Yeah. So it's like another lesson that I learned, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No, seriously, thank you so much for the insight, Manny. I think this was incredibly helpful for a lot of people that are like just looking for opportunity elsewhere. And I think this is like a very vast, untapped, still early relatively to market with BRC20 tokens. And I think this is something that continues to run and ultimately has value. I mean, like a lot of people really do value, like some people literally look at this as like a store value, art, whatever you want to look at it. They're like, oh man, this is a piece of history. Like Dorian was saying. I mean, like it's going on to this like how like you have a sat of the how block, you know what I mean? And like a lot of people
narrative,
like,
baby.
Yeah, it's all that narrative. So I definitely I think there's a lot of value there. I think it's a different way of looking at things too. Like I'm just a critical thinker myself. Like I love thinking about things in a different light compared to what Solana values. Like Bitcoin's a completely different beast. So and this is more affordable. Like in the grand scheme of things, this is actually more affordable than
ETH, dog. Yeah.
I mean, ETH gas is ridiculous right now. So I think this is probably the next best opportunity to tap into even richer liquidity. Like it's a no-brainer to me. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you as always, Manny. If you guys so much already, it is Manny V_Sol on Twitter. Go ahead and drop the boy a follow. He does pop up on Easy Show all the time. He is giving all his thoughts. You get a Cyber Samurai, you get access to his thoughts as well in DMs. And then seriously, I do appreciate your time and energy. It's always a pleasure, man. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of RareFUD Radio. That about does it for episode 74. If you guys haven't, please please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bell notifications so you do get alerted every time we go live. It is Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with episodes uploaded shortly after, if I ever get back on schedule, to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everything in between. If you couldn't catch the show, we got you. So we'll make sure you're on your way to work and can catch up with all the latest news. Well, not just in Solana NFTs anymore. It is all of crypto. So we are trying to go.
Man. We go where the money is, dog. We're trying to get you, like, that's the whole thing. Staying ahead of the alpha. If it's on Solana, we're there. BRC20, we're there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Manny, seriously, thank you so much. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode of RareFUD Radio. We will see you again Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard